Okay, friends, a very good evening to all of you. My name is Ramzan, and we are starting our 5 days, 5 hours mastering Excel formulas workshop. I promise you, you are going to enjoy this session and you are going to learn lots of new Excel formula practically with live examples I'm going to show you. So today is the day one and I am opening my day one formulas practice files. So I have opened this file. I request all of you to open this file with me if you wish to practice with me. So now when I have opened this file, if you will see, there are many sheets in this. I will just show you what we are going to learn today. So we will start with the first and very basic formula. From basic to advanced level I'm going to take you. So we will see the formula sum and subtotal. What is the difference between sum and subtotal? Then we will move to our second very important formula. How do you combine first name, middle name, and last name with three different methods? One is a normal method, one with the concat formula, which is a new formula, and there is more better formula than that, that is a text join formula. We will be learning this. We will move ahead a little bit more, and then we will also learn how do you do the change cases. So how do you combine also and convert into capital, small and first character capital? We are also going to learn the new formula in Excel, that is the unique. We will use unique with sort. How do you combine unique with new formula sort? We will also learn the trim formula. Then we will learn 6 basic formula, min, max and average, difference between count and count A, and we will also learn the count blank. We will also learn left, right, and mid formula, length formula, and in the end, we will also see how do you add a dollar sign in the formula. Why do we add that? What are the different methods? When to add dollar before row, when to add before the column. And in the end, you will see these are all the formulas which we would have learned. So we will be learning around 22 formulas in next 1 hours and you are going to become awesome in this. So after learning this 22 formula, you can say that your Excel formula basic course is over. And then from tomorrow, that is day two, we will be learning the intermediate formula and last 2 days, we will be doing the advanced Excel formulas. So you are going to learn more than 40 formulas in this session, friends. Okay. So let's get started with the first formula, that is sum and subtotal. Sum formula daily you use and you might have used hundreds of times this formula. So what's new? Here I'm going to show you why some people moved from sum to subtotal. What is the limitation of sum and how that problem gets solved in subtotal. So let's get started. So here is the first basic formula. I will put my cursor over here and I wanted to do the total. You know a simple formula, you will type equal sum and you will select the range. Or you can go to the home and you can click on auto sum. I know that you all know this. Or the third is the shortcut. What is the shortcut? And the shortcut is alt equal. So see, I have written over here alt equal. So this is the shortcut for doing the sum. So when I put my cursor over here, and if there is no gap in between, and there is no alphanumeric text, then automatically it takes the entire region. So see, I'm pressing alt equal, and it has selected the entire range because there was no gap, and I press enter. You know this, you do regularly. Now, what happens in this formula is when I come over here and if I do the filter. So I hope you know the shortcut for filter. The shortcut for doing filter is Control Shift L. With this shortcut, you can add a filter, and if filter is already applied, you can remove the filter. Okay. I might not see the chat box in between, friends, but after a few minutes, I'm going to check it. Okay. So I select the data, means only the heading, and I press Control Shift L. So you know the filter this arrow has come. So let's say over here, if I come in the city and over here, if I select mobile, you see what is going to happen. When I select mobile, now the total sales is 34,200. Remember this total, okay? This is a total of all the records. When I say okay over here, you will see the data has been filtered on mobile, but the filter has not been applied on the total. Filter will not be applied, but my expectation was it should have been given me total of only filtered data, but it is not given. So he has took the filtered of all. So this is one of the limitation of sum formula. This can be overcome. This can be solved with the help of two ways. One is either you convert your data into the table mode, or you use a subtotal formula. So here, as we have just started the session, so I will show you the subtotal formula. So now the data is filtered. I wanted to clear the filter. So again, you will press Control Shift L. What will happen? Filter will be cleared. So I say Control Shift L and my filter is cleared. Now what I'm doing, friends, again, I'm writing the formula over here. I want you to pay attention because some formula you were knowing. So I will say equal, and instead of sum, I will say sub. When I say sub, you will get all the three formulas of sub: substitute, subtotal, and IM sub. So I will come on subtotal and I will press a tab key. So entire formula will come. Tab. If you press enter, you get error. So I say tab, or you can double click on that formula. When you say equal, subtotal, open a bracket, it gives you lots of options. See, the first one is average. Understand this. Second one is count. Third is count A, and every formula has a number before that. 1 denotes average, 2 denotes count, 3 denotes count A. There is a difference between count and count A. Count formula counts only the numbers. Count A counts numbers and as well as text, alphanumeric. So I wanted to do the total. It means I want to do the sum. So sum is where? When I go down and I can see sum is over here. Okay, sum is at which number? It's on number 9. So here you will not type sum, you will type 9. So I type 9. 9 means sum. If I want to do count, you will type 2. If you want to do average, you will type 1. You don't have to remember everything. Everything is given. You just have to put the number. So 9 means sum. And then I will put comma. And now he's asking me reference. So what I will do? I will select this data. And I will close the bracket. Simple. So equal subtotal. I will type 9, comma, and I will do the select the range. Should I press enter? And you will get the answer. So you will say, Ramzan, what is the difference? Now you will come to know the difference. So I will put my cursor on date, Control Shift right. It selected the heading, Control Shift L for doing the filter. And now I do filter on mobile. So I go over here and I say, hey, show me the mobile data. As soon as I click on mobile and I say, okay, and you will see the magic. So here, this was a sum formula. So it's showing you the total only, but subtotal formula gave you total of only the filtered data. This is important. Okay, in that, again, I want, let's say, a data of only Abdullah, for example. So I come over here and I select one name. I think there is only one record of Abdullah. So here, see, it should have shown 75, but it's showing everything in sum. But here, only 75. Got it the point, friends? The intention of explaining this formula. Again, I press Control Shift L. Let me do it one more time. But now when I do, to explain one more time, if you have still not understood, now you can understood and you have to repeat it with me. So let's say now, again, I wanted to know there are how many total records in this data. For example, let's do some record one. So counting. So we use a count formula because it's number. So how you will see? You will say equal. Now you think in your mind what you should type. After equal, what I should type. I will type subtotal. So I will type subtotal. After that, I want to count. So now you tell me which number I should select. So yes, you will select number 2. So I will type 2. 2 means count. Then I will put comma. What I should do now? Then I should select the range. So I will select the range and I will close the bracket. So it will give me there are total 10 records. Got it? Now we will check if my formula is working. So I will select the heading and I will press a filter shortcut, Control Shift L. And now I come over here and I will again select mobile. If there are 4 records of mobile, so that 10 answer will become 4. And let's see. Okay. And wow, I got it 4 over here. Got it, everybody? So you can do count, you can do average, you can do minimum, maximum, you can find the sum. So lots of things can be done, but these are the common one. Again, I remove with Control Shift L. So this was the first formula, friends, which we did for today. So I will stop here for a few minutes and I want you to try it out. Those who wish, those who want to do after the session, no problem. You can relax. I will wait here for next 2 minutes and then practice it. Reply me done in the chat box and then we will move to the very important formula, that is your text join. Okay, friends, so this was a sum and subtotal formula. Now I move to the next sheet. So I press Control Page Down to go to the next sheet. You can use a mouse or Control Page Down, whatever way you are comfortable. Here we will be learning 3 very important formula, where we will be learning how do you combine first name, middle name, and last name with 3 different methods, and benefit of using a new formula. But remember, this new formula which we will be learning, concat and text join, these are available only in Office 365 version. If you are having Excel old version, friends, it is not going to work. So when I type the formula, that time you can check if it's available in your system or no. But let's type with a normal formula. How do you combine it? So let me quickly zoom the screen for you. So now I wanted to combine first name, middle name, and last name. What happens in this? The first step is I will say equal, and I will click on this name Ramzan, which is in B2. So I say equal B2, and I have typed shift and 7. And then I will say and this middle name, and I will click on last. And this is a normal formula, very simple. Equal B2 and C2 and D2. That's all. And I press enter. My formula is done. Now, the challenge in this formula is you don't have a space between first name and last name. So how do I put the space? So I will double click on it, and after this end, I will put a space. So if you normally put like this space, it's not going to work because space is a special character. So you have to put it in between 2 double quotes. Don't put quotes like this, 1 quote, again 1 quote. No, you have to press shift and double quotes. See how I do. Shift, double quotes. In one go, these 2 double quotes should come. Okay. Then I will say space bar, and again I say shift, double quotes, and I will say end. So B2 and space and C2 and space and D2. This is a normal formula which we all use, but don't worry. If you think it's tough, we are going to do a very simple formula than this. Okay, don't worry. But this is a basic. And I press enter, and you got Ramzan Rajani. And I come on the corner over here. Don't double click here. When you double click here, it is formula editing. So I come on the corner and I double click. So it drags me down. But here the problem is when my middle name is blank, here he took one extra space. You see in between Adesh and Yura is the space because it's a blank. Here also. So this is one challenge. And when you have 3-4 column to combine, you have to say and you have to also put the double quotes. Actually, this formula is not tough. It's very simple. But Microsoft came up with one more new formula, that is text join. And there is another formula, concat. You might have heard about concatenate. But slowly, that will become a legacy formula. And instead of concatenate, they have putting a concat formula. So one is this, I will just, so now if I want to keep this formula on, means I don't want to see the answer and I wanted to show it to my participants. So what we can do is, before this equal sign, I'm just putting space bar, like one space I'm putting. When I put space, so this is become a text now. So now when I press enter, it will not execute the formula. Understanding? So that you all can see the formula, I will just make it red color, just so that you can see. I will make it gold. I have just skip it for you. Achha, now I am going to the F column, friends. This same thing can be achieved with another formula, and that is your equal concat formula. So I will type equal and I will type con. Now you say concat. You see there are two formula, concat and concatenate. Some of you might have used concatenate, but now this will become a legacy. You can see one yellow color mark when you have a concatenate. So it means they are trying to say that now you move to the new formula. So I say concat, it's very similar to concatenate, no change. So you will type equal concat, but this formula is available only in Office 365. Observe, I will say text 1. So this is my text 1, Ramzan. B2. Here you don't type and. Here you put comma. Instead of combining with and, you say comma. So I will put comma. Now he's saying text 2. So I say C2 is my text 2. Comma, and I say Rajani. What is the difference? There it was and in the previous formula. Here it is comma. There is no difference. Enter. And you get same answer. Okay. In this again, if you say Ramzan, I want a space. So again, you will double click. And after this comma, you want to put a space. So how do you put a space? In two double quotes, right? So I say two double quotes, space bar, two double quotes. And then again we type and, right? Here you will put comma. Okay, after that, then I say Excel C2, which is a middle name, comma. Again, after middle name, I need a space. So again, I will put double quotes, space, double quotes, comma. Oh, some of you were thinking, those who are the, oh my God, what is this? Those who already know, they will say, oh, it's easy. It depends. So I press enter and I again come on the corner and I double click and your work is done. So in this formula also, I will double click and I will come before the equal and I put space bar so that it does not execute this formula. And I again make over here this in a blue color and I make it blue. This is a second formula, the way you can do it. Got it? Now I will show you the final formula, which is a text join, for which I have explained you all these things. Let me make this column little small. And this also little small. Let me make this more small. Okay, perfect. So here I will be using now third formula, which I personally love this formula, but I don't know if you have this in your system or no. See the magic of this. I really love this. You say equal, and instead of equal B2 and C2, instead of concatenate, we use a formula with the name text. You just type text and you get lots of formula related to text. Text after, text before, text join, text. These are the four new formulas, friend. Those who don't know, for them, these are the four new. These are very amazing formula. I'm going to show you text join, text split, because these two are regularly and these are amazing. Text join, I will double click and my text join has come. Now let's understand. Don't mug up the formula. You should never mug up the formula that select this, select this. No. Understand when it gives you the syntax. Syntax means what this? When I type text join open, you see it gives you this option. Understand this option. It is easy for you. You don't have to remember the formula then. Don't mug up. Understand logically. So when you say text join, the first question it asks you is delimiter. Now delimiter, if you do text to column option in Excel, you see delimiter option comes, right? Space is a delimiter, comma is a, so he's saying, Ramzan, when you combine first name, middle and last name, what is your delimiter? What is the separator? So I say I want a space. So I have to first tell Excel that space is my delimiter. Okay, how do you put a space? Space, you need to put it in 2 double quotes. So you will put double quotes, space bar, and you will say double quotes. So you will give only one time. In concat and in previous formula, you have to give 2 times. After B2 and after C2. Here only one time. This is the new thing. This is very interesting. Comma. Then he asks you the second question. Ignore empty. So he's saying, okay, Ramzan, if any of the cell is empty, like middle name is empty, what should I do? Should I put a space bar or should I ignore it? I say ignore it. I don't want space. If it is a blank, just ignore it. Don't worry. So for that, you can type through. So I double click on this. So it becomes through. Through means ignore the blank spaces. Comma. Now he's asking you text, that which text you want to combine. Here you are not going to select first name, middle name, last name. No, you can select all 3 in one go. How do you do that? Just take the mouse and click on Ramzan, click this, select all these 3 and your work is done. B2 to D2. No need of saying B2 and C2 and D2 and 2 times put the space. Very simple. While explaining, I'm taking the time, but when you do practically, it's just a few seconds job. Enter, work is done. Come on the corner and say double click and your work is done. Amazing. You want me to type one more time? I will type one more time. See now, equal, and I will type text join. Again, I'm repeating those who have not heard. Everybody might not get this text join formula because this is only in Office 365 version, friends. First question, delimiter. What delimiter you need? So I say double quotes, space, double quote. This is my delimiter. Means a separator between first name and last name. Then you put comma. Then he's asking, ignore empty cells. I say yes, ignore empty cells. So I will select through, comma. Now he's asking third question. See, this text one has become dark. So it's asking me that. You need to understand that. This is the main thing in formula. And I select this all 3. Close the bracket, B2 to D2, khalas, and I press enter and your work is done. Come on the corner and double click and your work is done. There is one more way with the help of flash fill. That is a more magical fill, but this is a core formula session. So I'm not going on to that. Our session will get in a different mode. So we will focus only on the formula. So again, I double click on this formula and before the equal, I put space so that it does not execute, enter, and I make this formula bold. And now I want you to try this out. So again, I will wait here for 2 to 3 minutes. Try it out. When done, reply me in the chat box and then we will move ahead. Okay, friends, so we have seen the concatenate text join formula in the last part. We have seen sum and subtotal. Now I'm moving to the next sheet. And in this sheet, we are going to learn 3 change case formula, upper, lower, and proper. Many of you might have heard this formula, but here we will not use them individually, but we will use it with combined, like with text join, how do you use, with concat, how do you use, with and formula, how you use. So we are going to now combine this both the formula. So there are 3 formulas, friend, you should know. Equal upper, which is for making everything capital. If you want to make everything small, we have a lower. And if you want a first character of each word into capital, then we use a proper. So in practical scenario, mostly you will use a proper. We don't put everything into capital. We don't put everything in small. Very less we use that. But proper is used regularly. So we will try to take the example of proper. And the data is also like that. If you will see the first name, all the names first character are in small letter. So we can take a practical example. Here first character is capital, so no problem. Here everything in last name first character is small, so we want to make it capital. So we will see practically how it is implemented. So let's get started. Nobody should practice with me now when I am teaching. Just sit, relax and see how I am doing. Let me zoom it quickly over here and let's get started. So the first thing what I will do is I will say equal, and first I will type a formula proper. So I will say proper. So I press tab key. Proper. Now he's asking text. So see how I will explain you. So I will come and I say this is my text and I close the bracket. Very simple first step and I press enter. So you got Ramzan where first character come in capital. Got it? But now with this, I want Ali also. I want Rajani also. So I will double click on this formula and I will just remove this bracket so that it's easy for you to see. So I say equal B2 and I will say space and C2 and again I need space, again I say space in two double quotes and D2 and I close the bracket. So if you see the previous formula, it's same, B2 and space and C2 and space and D2. Just I have added a proper formula in the start, nothing changes and enter. So you see Ramzan has become capital and Rajani first character has become capital. Come on the corner and double click and your work is done. So this is the first formula where you have used a proper. Now we will see the same thing in concat and the function remains same. The sequence remains same. Okay, so I will just put one space bar again over here so that you can see, make it bold and let's make it in red color. Okay, let's make employee ID small, first name small, middle name column small and last name also small. Let's make it a little bit big, this one. Perfect. Now let's try concat. So again, first step, you will say equal. Now here you will use proper also and a word concat also. So now you see how I do. So I say equal and I say proper. After that, again, you can use B2, C2, D2. It's simple, but this is another way of doing. So in after the proper, I will type over here concat. Okay, concat now is asking text one. So I say this is my text one, comma, then I need a space. So double quotes, space, double quotes, comma, C2, comma, space, but space I will put it in two double quotes, comma, D2. Close the down. When I close this bracket, now you see when I close this, it came in a red color. This bracket came in a red color, which is for this bracket. So there is one more bracket because two formula, two open brackets. So you have to close two brackets and the last bracket should be the black color. Remember this. Enter. Halas, come on the corner and double click and your work is done. So again, I will come over here and let's make it a little bit small. Let's double click on this formula and I put space bar and I make it in blue color and I make it in bold also. Got it? So you see both the formulas are same, only this is simple and here you use concat. It's totally up to you, friends. You will say, Ramzan, when to use which formula? In this both formula, there is no difference. This is simple, here you use a concat, there is no difference. Third formula, there is a difference. Third formula, there is a difference. So now what I do is I will intentionally make this small so that I can show you this. I can make this small. And now I will type the third formula over here. So now here what you will do? Proper with concatenate. Now you will say proper with text join. Small two formulas we are going to combine and see how it works. Okay. So you will say equal, and again you will say first is proper. I say Excel, proper it, make the first character capital. But then I want to use a text join. So I will say text join instead of concat. Same delimiter. So I will say space is my delimiter, comma. Then what I will select over here? True means ignore the empty cells, comma. Now he's asking text. So I will just select all this text together. Close the bracket and press enter. Oh, why it's giving me this problem? Actually, it's not an error. It's saying, Ramzan, there are two formulas, two open bracket is there, and you have closed only one. Do you want me to close? Means I have put one more bracket over here. Do you want to accept? I say, yes, I forgot to add a bracket. Add it for me. So I will say, yes, he will add one extra bracket for you, and he closes that. And then again, I come on the corner, double click, and your work is done. Again, I come over here and let's make it bold. And I come over here and you see this formula. So if you see this, all three formulas, friends, it's giving you the same result. The only difference is here you have used proper with concat. Here you have used proper with text join. The only benefit which I can see in the third formula is I don't have to select B2, C2, D2. I don't have to put 2 times space bar. Only in start only I told him I need space between all the columns which I am combining, and B2 to D2 I have selected together. That is the only difference. Otherwise, there is no difference, friends. Okay. So this completes your combine with text join. I hope you have understood this. And the next formula we will see again a latest formula, unique with sort. Till now you have done sort and filter from the menu, from the ribbon. But now how do you use a sort formula? How do you use combine unique with sort? We will see that in the next video. Okay. So I'm giving you a few minutes to practice, complete the practice, reply me done in the chat box, and we move to the next formula. Okay, friends, so now we will move ahead, and now we have a very simple and interesting question. So, and the question is, friends, I will just remove the space before the equal sign so that formula is executed. Now, let's say, friends, you have done with the formula. Now, when you double click on this formula, this is coming from your source. So source is B, C, and D. Now your manager tells you that, hey, Anis, now I don't want these 3 columns because you have already combined, just delete it. So you have 2 options, Anis. You can select this and you can right click and you say, hey, hide this. One is hidden. But let's say you don't want to hide that. Okay, you want to delete that. So once you select, and when you say Control minus is a shortcut for deleting a row or a column. Once you delete, here you will get ref because your source is deleted. So now you just have to break a link between this formula and the source. That's all. And that is done with the help of paste spatial. You might have heard lots of time paste spatial, and it's very simple. So what we will do is all the columns where you have a formula, you will select that. So in all this, you have a formula here. So you will select this, all the 3 columns, and you will press Control C. Control C is for copy. So I say copy. After that, what you have to do? Nothing. You just say right click on the same place, and over here you get one option paste, and here you get one option paste spatial. So here you get one option paste spatial value. Oh, it's not enabled. Let me check it one more time over here. I go over here in review. Let me first remove the protection, and I say BB and I say enter. Now let me try it. So I select this data and let me try it now. I say copy. So I want to do the paste spatial. When I say right click, and I will get one option paste spatial value. I don't know, you might have tried, some of you doing paste special, but it will not work because the sheet was protected. If the sheet is protected, you can't do that. So that's why it might have not working. So I just unprotected the, how I unprotected the sheet? I actually had protected the workbook. So I went to the review, and in review, I click over here on protect workbook. It was protected. Again, click on it. It will ask you the password, and you will put a password BB 2 times small. B is the password. It will protect the workbook. Then your pay specially will work, Anis. Okay. So you can do it afterwards. Let me explain. So I just select all these columns and I say copy. After that, you will right click, and here you get an option 1, 2, 3, which is paste spatial value. So it will again paste the same data, but only the value without the formula. So I click on it, and then when I press escape, and now when you see here, Anis, you don't have any formulas over here. So only value is pasted. Once again, for those who don't know, who are doing first time, select the data, copy, right click on the same place and click on 1, 2, 3. Those who love shortcut, the shortcut for paste spatial is Control Alt V. After copy, you say Control Alt V, and you click on the option values and you say okay, done. Now there is no formula. It means this column is not linked with the previous. Now when you select B, C, and D, and when I say control minus, there is no problem. And when I say control minus, it is gone. Understood, Anis? Oh, very simple. It has not been affected. Okay, this became an individual. It's not dependent on some another. Okay, friends, so I will move a little bit more ahead. I will go on the fourth sheet, that is the unique. I have a HR employee database, or I have a training database, or Anis, you have a certification data. All the certification details are there. And from that, your manager tells you that, hey, Ramzan, can you bring all the names of unique certification from this database, or all the names of unique nationality working in my company, or unique department, or unique people names? How do I do that? So I come over here, and there is again a new formula which is going to work in Office 365 only, friends. You will say equal, and you will type a option, not an option, a formula unique. So equal unique. And he's asking you array, by column, exactly one. Now this by column and exactly one is in a square bracket. It means it's optional. If you don't give, no problem. So one is compulsory array. Array means the range. So I say Excel, this is my range. I click on Morocco and I say Control Shift down. I just selected the data from which I want to remove the unique nationality. Enter. So you will see all the unique nationality has came over here. So these are the unique nationality working in my company. One more time you will try equal, and I will type unique. And now he's asking array. So again, I want unique department. I have 100,000 of people and their department in mention. So production is repeated twice, sales is repeated twice. So I want only extract only one from that, right? So I select Control Shift down and I press enter, and you get the unique department, right? But let's say if your manager tells you, hey, Ramzan, this unique department is good, but I want it sorted. So I want first with A, then B, then C, China should come up, and this UAE should go in the bottom. Okay, so I want to A to Z, I want to arrange it. So in this, you can even use a sort formula with unique. So I will move to the little bit right hand side, and here is the formula which we will try. So I will first say Excel unique. I will type unique, and in array, normally you will select the data from Morocco till end. But here I will also say I wanted to sort it, not sort by, only sort. So I say sort. In sort, again, he's asking array, that what is the range? So I will click on Morocco over here and I say Control Shift down. That's all. I take the scroll bar on the right hand side here and I move it a little bit up. So I will close the sort, or there is an option, sort index. You can ignore that. Just put comma. So he will ask sort index, put comma. So it will go, he's asking order. So if you want A to Z, you put 1. If you want opposite, UAE and all should come up. Descending you want, then you put -1. But by default, it will take ascending. So even if you don't put, it will take. But let's put it 1. Close the bracket. This bracket I have closed is for sort. And this bracket I have closed is for unit. Enter. You got first Bahrain, China, Denmark. So you got the unique value also. But that unique value is sorted also. And in the end, you will see you got UAE, United Kingdom, and you got the Yemen. Interesting? So this was a unique formula with sort. Let me make it bold and let me color it. So if you wanted to try, those who are having, and this is only the unique formula, those who want to try only the unique. Okay. So yeah. So again, I will wait over here, friends, for a minute, and those who want, they can try it out. Remember, after this, you have 2 commas, okay? And this one denotes ascending to descending. Thank you so much. I will wait over here till the time you practice. Okay, friends, so let's move to the next formula, and that is your trim. So I go to the trim formula, and over here, a very interesting data is there. And I have also here one formula which I have put it in little bit light gray color, which is this. This is for your reference. I will make this little bit dark over here. And these are 2 very interesting formula I'm going to show you. Pay attention, very new thing you are going to learn in this, friends. I have price, units, sales, and profit. So I want to do the total of profit. Let me do over here only. So I come here and I say sum, and I say open a bracket. You see what will happen. When I select some numbers over here, and when I close a bracket and press enter, you get 0. These are numbers, but I am getting 0 with the help of sum formula. The reason being over here before 15, you have multiple spaces. You have multiple spaces. Here before 5, you have one more space. Here you have space. So now here we can use a trim formula. So normally, if you use a trim formula, it will remove the unwanted spaces, but it will not convert into the numbers. So let me show you the example. So when I say equal and I say trim, open a bracket, and when I select just all these numbers and I press enter, and you see the spaces has been removed, all came on the left side, right? So this is one thing. But when I again come over here, friends, and when I do the sum, and when I select this data, it should give me the answer. So when I press enter over here, equal sum, open a bracket, and when I select this and press enter, I'm not getting the answer. Let me remove this, because this is still, so I say copy and I say paste spatial values, and now I say equal sum, open a bracket, and when I select and I press enter, you again get the 0. You have removed the space, but still it is in a text format. So now there are many ways of doing. Once you select this all, you see all the green color marks, so you get this. So you click on it and you say convert to numbers, and it got converted to numbers. This is one way of doing. But there is another way of doing which is normally used. So we type a value formula. You might have not heard this formula. You type value. You see what it says. When I type VA only, converts a text string. Listen very carefully if you really want to understand. converts a text string. It means he's saying if there is a text string that represent a number. So this 200 is a text. Actually, it's a original, it's number, but now it is in a text form, which represent a number. So this 200 is representing number, but it's not a number, it's in a text form. So it will convert that text string into a number. Understanding? So I say value. So he will ask me the text. So I can select the text, but I wanted to tell Excel, yes, you will convert this text into the number, which denotes the number. It is number only original, but there is a space also. So I want him to remove the space also. So I will also use a trim. So I say trim. So I say value with trim, and then I will select N2. I will close the bracket. This is for trim. And one more bracket close. This is for value formula. Enter. Got it? Now when I drag it down, let me drag it till here. So you see it came on the right hand side. When it comes on the right hand side, it means it has been converted by default with this value formula. So now when I say equals sum, open a bracket, and when I select this and when I close it and press enter, let me again remove this. I select copy, paste spatial value, and now when I do the sum and I select this and you get the answer. So you have two ways. Either you do the first trim and then you select that and you say convert to numbers, or in formula itself you do it. It's totally up to you. Got it? So formula I have given over here. You can practice it afterwards. Now, there is another way of doing. You can even do this way, friends. Instead of writing value and trim, you can even use this. You can say equal and you will say number value. You see, I have written convert text to number in a local independent manner. Means whatever is a local setting will convert into that. So convert text to number. So I say number value, and here you don't have to do anything. Just select this decimal separator, group separator. It's in more detail. At this stage, we will not go, and that is the optional. So I just say number value N2 khalas. That's all, and I press enter. And now when I go down and automatically you see what he has done. He has removed the spaces also. He has just picked the numbers and has put it on the right side and has given you. Copy, paste spatial value. And I say here equal sum, open a bracket, and I select, and here you go. Here, let me copy this. This value only. So again, I say equal sum, open a bracket, and now when I select and press enter, I get this one. Oh, I have to drag it down. So I come over here and drag it down and I get the answer. So you have different ways of doing. First, we use only trim, and then we selected and we clicked on that mark, which was coming, yellow color marker, and then we said convert to number. You have another option. You use a value with trim formula, and the third is the number value formula. So different ways of doing it, friends. Okay, so this was the last formula. Will not work for number. Trim formula will work for both. For text also it will work, and for removing the spaces between numbers also it works, Abdul Rahim. You can try it. Let's say between 20 you have two spaces and you have then 0, and then you want it to remove, so it will work. Normally when you type any numbers and before that if you will try to put the space and press enter, it will not take space only first by default. But if you have a data that way, so that's why we use first value and then with the help of trim. So it should work for you. Give it a try. If no, then I'm there to guide. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. So I think we have covered half of the sheet. I was supposed to cover everything, but it was a first day and I don't want it to go in a speed. So no problem. We have covered all these formulas. Tomorrow when we join, we will start with the min count, and we will also do the day 2 part tomorrow. which is summarizing formulas we will be doing. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. And see you all in the next session, that is tomorrow. That will be a day 2. And make sure you all practice this, and see you all tomorrow once again. Thank you so much.